Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, from whom I learned this truth. And shalom to the 144,000 elect. I am Mike Allah, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to call this one yet, but I'm going to play a short video. This is just a news clip about something that happened in the local area here, one of the suburbs of Cleveland. And I am going to play this video under Fair Use Act of 1976. This is not a monetized station, so this is not in an effort to make money from this, but this is just for edification purposes only. So fair use. And I want to play this clip, but I'm going to stop it along the way because I'll have some comments, and I'm going to bring out a few verses, and then that'll be the end of this lesson. This won't be very long. It's like I said, this clip's only about I think it says 2 minutes and 50 seconds, so I'm going to bring it forth.
A man dies while at work at the Amazon Fulfillment Center in Euclid.
That man's heartbroken mother and family, they're looking for more information. They want to know more about how he died.
Our Harry Boomer spoke to that family. He's live for us now outside that facility in Euclid, Harry, with what that family had to say.
You know, guys, when someone dies unexpectedly, there are lots and lots of questions. Often they want to know how, when, and under what circumstances, and they're not always immediately available. But the emotional need to know is a strong driving force. This grieving mother and her family want answers they say they're not getting from retail giant Amazon.
I had them on Valentine's Day, 1987, and lost them on this month.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this right here because this is the family of the man that passed away at the Amazon Center. All right, and like the reporter says, when somebody passes away, dies at work on the plantation, you want to know all the particulars. You want to know what happened, and if there's any kind of video footage, you want to see video footage because you want to know what happened. You know, no one was there but to witness it except for, his co-workers, and none of the family was there. But I'm gonna stop it right here because I wanted to bring out a verse, and I don't know what the situation is on this family, but the first thing that I noticed that this is the survivors of his immediate family. And first thing that I noticed that there's no man. Looks like he got two brothers and a sister, because they said this was his siblings and his mother. And this is his mother speaking. So I'm going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54. And this whole verse doesn't apply, but a specific portion of it toward the latter end. It says, Deuteronomy 28 and 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So that's the part that I wanted to bring out, which he shall leave. It's talking about, these are of the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. And it's talking about the Israelite man. It says, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Now, I don't know what the situation is on this family. It could be a thing, maybe the dad just wasn't available at this time, or it could be a thing where maybe who knows? He could be in another state. He could be deceased. But I'm just going off what the reporter said. This is his family, and it seemed like if his dad is around, that he would want to be grouped right here with the rest of the family, because that is his son. Looked like he might have been the eldest, because but I'm gonna let this continue to play.
This day, 26.
Angela Machan is talking about her son, 39-year-old Daquan Machan.
They say my son, he fell and he collapsed, but he was bleeding from the brain and everything. He died. And I haven't had any answers. I haven't heard from Amazon. Amazon refused to speak to me, and that's why I'm here.
According to a Euclid police...
All right, so Amazon won't even speak to her, won't give her any details. All right, so already, this happened about 4, maybe 5 days ago, so I haven't heard anything, any kind of update if they did provide any explanation as to what happened to him. But that's just natural. Your family, your loved ones want to find out, want to know what happened. So I'll let this finish playing.
Police report Daquan Machan told others he was not feeling well and later passed out at his workstation at the Amazon Fulfillment Center on Babbitt Road. She and his siblings want to see video from inside the facility to see how he died.
I couldn't even see the footage. I would have to get a lawyer.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there because so already it seemed like something suspicious going on because they're telling her in order for her to find out what happened or see the video of what happened inside the facility, she's going to have to get a lawyer. So that means she's got to come out of her pocket and go get a lawyer. She just lost her son while he was working. So aside from whatever burial expenses that she's going to have, now she's got to go get a lawyer if she wants to try to get some kind of closure to find out exactly what happened. Or it could be an instance where she might have a lawsuit if they were negligent. Something, I don't know what the situation is. Like I said, there hasn't been an update yet. But in any event, they're making it difficult for her already. It seems to me, and I'm just on the outside looking in, like they're trying to hide something, like they're trying to keep something away from her. And that video would be able to be some kind of proof to give her some kind of understanding of exactly what happened. All right, whether it had been an accident or whether he was negligent doing something at work that he shouldn't have been doing. But I'm just going to go real quick over to 1 Thessalonians, because that's first thing you would want to know. You want to get some understanding and find out, in your investigation, to find out what happened to a family member. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 21 says, "Prove all things and hold fast that which is good." All right, so that's first things first. That they, when I say they, I'm speaking about Amazon, and all righteousness should at least give her a little bit more information and provide the video, if there's video, on what happened to this man. But I'm gonna let it continue to play. I'm gonna bring out one more before I even let it finish, because I was just saying that even if this might have been an accident, there's still laws on what can be done with it if this was an accident. All right, I'm gonna go back over to Deuteronomy. And we know these were laws that were given to the Israelites, but these are righteous laws because it covers even the event of an accidental killing. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 19. Verse 4. And I'm going to read this in the NLT because it's very plain in the NLT. It says, "If someone kills another person unintentionally without previous hostility, the slayer may flee to any of these cities to live in safety." So these are cities of refuge that had been set aside in the land, where just in case you accidentally kill someone, you're doing some work or whatever, and some unfortunate incident happens, you know, instead of the family just coming after you trying to get revenge for you, you'd have a city of refuge which to go until you can actually plead your case, provide whatever proof of evidence to show that this was an accident. Verse 5, and I'm still in the NLT, it says, for example, suppose someone goes into the forest with a neighbor to cut wood, and suppose one of them swings an axe to chop down a tree, and the axe head flies off the handle, killing the other person. In such cases, the slayer may flee to one of the cities of refuge to live in safety. It says if the distance of the nearest city of refuge is too far, an enraged avenger might be able to chase down and kill the person who caused the death. Then the slayer would die, unfortunately, since he had never shown hostility toward the person who died. So, like I said, I was just going back and talking about proving all things. You know, you don't know what kind of people this family is. You know, they may go in there and in a fit of rage try to avenge their child, her son's death. I mean, they look like a pretty level-headed family. They just want to know what the evidence is, or what they want some evidence provided on exactly what happened. All right, but just like I was saying, the Israelites have laws that were even given to them just in the event of an accidental killing. All right, but in this system, this unrighteous system that we live in, you know, they don't even at this point don't even have to provide video footage or evidence, not even give this family an explanation as to what happened. All right, but I'm gonna let this play a little bit more.
I want to know what happened to my son, and I cannot have closure if I don't have that. No one from the job has reached out to me, period. No one. And that's my son that I gave birth to.
Amazon did confirm that there was a death at the center, and in a statement said, quote, our thoughts and deepest sympathies are with his family and our colleagues in Euclid. The company sent some of his co-workers home with pay to give them time to mourn. Counseling has also been made available.
All right, so they say, they acknowledge at least that he did pass away there at the facility. They even gave some people time off. These are probably people who witnessed it directly right there at the site. They sent them home with pay. All right. So, like I said, if they're not being forthright and coming to the family, you know, they requested a video, but they're not even giving them any explanation as to what happened. But I'll let this play.
This is Daquan's younger sister, Deja Machan.
I hate that this had to happen, and I want to know what happened. He actually called me. I tried to call him back 3 minutes later. He didn't answer, and when I looked at his phone, he did attempt to call the police twice before I called him back.
So, he called his sister. All right? She wasn't able to answer the phone, but within those 3 minutes, before she was able to call him back, he had dialed the police. He called the police twice. So that's like an indication that something was going on. Even though he wasn't feeling well, he felt the need to call the police because something was wrong. All right, so, and it seems like, to me, in an instance like this, that you would, just to get the family closure, if it was nothing that was negligent on the part of Amazon, that they would want to come forward with whatever video footage that they have of his death, at least to ease some of the pain for the family. But like I said, in this society, especially with these companies like this, they don't give a damn. All right, and especially if they're negligent for some safety precaution that wasn't being provided, or some safety measure that wasn't cleared up. And they look at the footage and find out that they might be in a position to be sued or held responsible for this death. So like, all right, as I was saying, yeah, so he had called the police, so something was going on. All right, So even though Amazon did let them know that he did pass away, there was an incident at the facility. They're not coming forth with the video evidence. All right, this only got a couple more seconds, so I'll let it play.
So he tried to tell someone what happened, but he just couldn't.
His life matters to me.
All right, and what I wanted to say too, I got another scripture I wanted to bring out, because you got to keep in mind where he was. He was on the plantation working. All right. And the owners of this place, and we know who's the owner of Amazon. All right. Not even gonna bring out his name. Let me see here. I'm going to go to the book of Sirach, or the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. And it looks like this lady is going to definitely have to obtain a lawyer, because they're more than likely they're not going to release that footage if they're negligent. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." All right, and although they're trying to be forthright to let her know that her son did pass away at this facility, you know, they may even be coming very sorrowful kind of state of mind, or to present themselves as being sorry. But you can't trust these people, all right? Because even though they'll be sorrowful and apologize a million times about the death, you can't trust them, because first of all, they won't even provide any footage. They won't even let them know exactly what happened. So that's the reason why this woman is going to probably have to obtain a lawyer to find out exactly what happened in that facility and what caused her son's death. All right. And I just have a few more that I wanted to bring out, and then that'll be the end of this. But I think this has got a couple more seconds.
I just want to know what happened to my baby. I don't know how he felt or what.
Amazon personnel did call 911 and medics tried to save Deshaun McShann. His mother told me she's going shopping today for clothes in which to bury her beloved son. He was born on Valentine's Day almost 40 years ago. Harry Boomer in you.
All right, so she just, like the woman just said, that she just wants to know what happened. She mentioned something about him falling, so it's possible maybe he fell off of some platform or something. I mean, I don't know what inside of Amazon looks like, but who knows what he might have fallen from. All right, and if there was some kind of safety railing, or was there not the safety railing put in place? So that could be one possible reason why they're not letting out this footage, exactly what happened. But I'm gonna go to Matthew. I just got a few more that I want to bring out, and that'll be the end of this. Matthew chapter 10. And verse 29. And this is in the red letter, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking. Matthew chapter 10, verse 29. I'm going to read this one in the NLT also. It says, "What is the price of 2 sparrows, 1 copper coin? But not a single sparrow can fall to the ground without your Father knowing it." So I don't know what the situation is with this brother who passed away at this facility, but not even, as the scripture says, as Yahweh Shai says, Not even one sparrow passes away from this place without it being authorized by Yahweh. All right. So ultimately, it was ultimately, it was determined that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai was going to allow this to happen. This was going to happen. This was what was supposed to happen to him in this instance. So maybe this is, who knows why this was done. You know, we don't know what this brother might have done in his past lives. We don't know what kind of information could come forth that might be taking place in this facility. But this was authorized by Yahweh. This was supposed to happen. All right. Job chapter 4. Job chapter 4, I'm going to start at verse 6, and I'm going to read this in the NLT. It says, "Doesn't your reverence for the Most High give you confidence? Doesn't your life of integrity give you hope? Don't stop and think. Do the innocent die? When have the upright been destroyed?" Verse 7 in the KJV says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?" So we don't, like I said, we don't know what this man might have done, what he might have done, or even in this life that he was just living. We don't know what he done in his past. We don't know what he might have done in his past lives. I mean, a mother is always going to come forth. You know, like, my child is innocent. My child had never done nothing. He could have been a hellraiser. I don't know what his background is. All right? But none ever died. None of the innocent died for no reason, or been destroyed for no reason. All right? And the very last verse that I wanted to bring out is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. And I'll read this in the KJV because the KJV makes it plain. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 39. "See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." So ultimately, when Yahweh Shai decides what he's going to be, what's going to be the outcome, it's in his hand. He does it. All right. It's authorized by him. All right. That just backs up what we read in Matthew chapter 10. All right. It's his. He authorizes it. Not even one sparrow leaves this place without him authorizing. So how much more a man, one of his own? He appears to be one of his own. All right. But I'm going to end this here. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha HaKadosh, Shalom.